Hello, Montgomery community, and welcome to our chapel for Friday, March 19th. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now let's share some birthdays. I actually have 3 weeks worth of birthdays because we're going to miss a couple Fridays for spring break. So, starting with today, I have 2 kindergartners, Emmy Ilaria and Michael Serban. Happy birthday to Emmy and to Michael. On Sunday, 2nd grader Ella Diaz. Happy birthday, Ella. On Monday, 8th grader Tyler Lamb. Happy Final Monty birthday, Tyler. On Tuesday, another 8th grader, Liam Stoops. Happy Final Monty birthday to you, Liam. Also on Tuesday, 6th grader Chloe Simoes. Happy birthday, Chloe. Looking ahead to next Thursday, the 25th, 2 very special birthdays. The first is kindergarten teacher, Miss Janny. Happy birthday to Miss Janny. And director of admissions, Mr. Coco. Happy birthday, Mr. Coco. And on Friday, another 8th grader giving her aloha birthday to us, Autumn Blair. Happy birthday, Autumn. Also on Friday, 5th grader Reggie Ayers. Happy birthday, Reggie. Next Saturday, another kindergartner, Addison Collins. Happy birthday, Addison. And looking ahead to Monday, yet another 8th grader with another aloha birthday, Gracie Eilberg. Happy birthday, Gracie. On Tuesday, the 30th, 7th grader, Kieran Wisniewski. Happy birthday, Kieran. And also on Tuesday, pre-K-er, new to our school, very special birthday. Happy birthday to Chase O'Ketty. The following Friday, April 2nd into April, everybody, Callie Hayden, 2nd grader. Happy birthday, Callie. And on Saturday the 3rd, 6th grader Daphne Brown. Happy birthday to Daphne. And finally, 2 last birthdays. Monday, the 5th of April, 2nd grader Cameron Speakman. Happy birthday, Cameron. And on Thursday, the 7th, 5th grader Gianna Catrona. Happy birthday, Gianna. All right, let's hear all the enthusiasm for all those birthdays. Take it away. And now for a few announcements. Today, everyone will get a copy of Showstoppers via email. Showstoppers is the middle school musical. They've been working long and hard on this. So sit back, relax, and watch as our students light up the stage with stellar performances of songs and scenes, and all of your favorite shows are represented. I've seen a preview, and it's fantastic. So make sure you pop some popcorn for that and enjoy. Tomorrow is drive-in movie at Sunnybrook. The movie playing is War with Grandpa, and the cost is $20 per vehicle. Space is limited, so check last week's Schoolhouse News for more details on how to purchase tickets. Enjoy that. That'll be a lot of fun, brought to you by the MSCA. Next Wednesday, March 24th, at 6 p.m., we're having a SALT Playhouses open house. Learn more about the Playhouses at Montgomery School. This is a program for 3- and 4-year-olds. And on the 24th, we will be having that event at 6 o'clock You can check Schoolhouse News for a registration link, and please let anyone know who might be interested in this new program. The event is open to the public. Also, registration is open for Montgomery School Days, or MSD, summer camp. Check the school website or Schoolhouse News to register for the week of June 7th to 11th, brought to you by our MSD team. Cookbooks are for sale. We're having a fundraiser to benefit the 8th grade, and they're excited to present the Montgomery School Community Cookbook. Again, that'll be listed in Schoolhouse News. I encourage you to purchase that. It's got recipes from lots of people in the community, including special Hawaiian carrot cake submitted by me. And finally, mark your calendar for the annual benefit, which is being held the evening of April 24th. You won't want to miss it. All right. Lots going on in our community. And again, we're going to miss a couple Fridays, so there are a lot of extra announcements. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you today's chapel speaker, and that is 8th grader Chance Fries. Chance has been here at Montgomery since 6th grade, and he is a lot of fun. I've had an opportunity to interact with him at our improv night, and you'll catch him in Showstoppers tonight, leading a song. I won't give it away, but he can grant you wishes. There's a hint. He is a unique and determined young man, very dedicated to his studies. His teachers know that he's always good with questions, he's excellent in discussions, and he really enjoys problem solving. He's a curious learner, and he also likes to know the other side of the story. Always engaged, he loves to learn in all of its forms and wherever he goes, and he also gives careful thought to every topic being discussed. He also has, as I referenced, a very fun sense of humor and appreciates the irony in situations. He always gets the humor that's inherent in that irony. And most of all, he never gives up, whether it's landing that joke or learning or caring for people in the community. So take it away with your message, Chance.
Thank you, Mr. McManus. Good morning, students, parents, and faculty. My name is Chance Fries, and I am now about to give you my chapel on commitment. Now, that's a very interesting word, commitment, but what does it mean? Commitment is stated by Oxford Languages as the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. Now, for me, commitment shines into stories in my life. And so I will be telling about you those because I love stories. If you know me, I love stories. So now, a long, long time ago when I was a young boy, I went to a Boy Scout camp called Camp Horseshoe for the first time. Here's a picture of me next to an award. Now, that was a marching award that was completely unrelated to the story, and that's not entirely a picture of me when I was my first day at camp. That would be a picture of me in my 3rd year at camp. But I just want to give you an image of how I looked as a young scout. There I am. So, I learned many great things at Camp Horseshoe, such as merit badges and great campfire stories. But one of the most powerful lessons I have learned is to have commitment. On my first time at Camp Horseshoe, I participated in the Camping Merit Badge. One of the requirements for the Camping Merit Badge was that I needed to go along to a bunch of other scouts to a campsite and spend the night out camping. We were told to bring only our backpacks, the clothes on our backs, the shoes on our feet, a tent, and a sleeping bag, and that was all we could carry. We did a grueling hike to the campsite. At least it was grueling to me, because at the time, I wasn't very fit, so it seemed like a grueling hike to the campsite. When we arrived there, we were given teeny tiny cubes of raw meat and potatoes and onions and peppers, and we're told to wrap it up in tin foil and cook it on the fire. So what we did as we were told. We took these teeny tiny cubes of meat, which were literally this small, wrapped it up and put it on the fire. Then we ate the food, measly though it was, and began to tell some stories. around the campfire. And eventually, we went to bed. However, though, at 2 in the morning, or at least what felt like 2 in the morning, we were roused from our beds with the loud sound of a pot and pan banging together, and were ordered to march back to camp because there was a thunderstorm. So we gathered up our stuff and hiked back to the main camp. Now, this was actually pretty terrifying because we were outside in the thunderstorm. It was pouring. We were watching in pitch blackness because the only people we weren't allowed to bring flashlights, and the people who did have the flashlights were the camp counselors who were at the front and the back, and in the middle there were no flashlights, and I was in the middle. And we were watching in pitch blackness. It was pouring down upon us. We were pretty much soaked, and we could only see a couple feet in front of us, the lightning literally being our only illumination. And we made it back to the camp in one piece, although very shaken. However, although the experience was cruel, unpleasant, and annoying, I came up a lot more resilient after that trip, and after all that, I felt pretty prepared for anything. Commitment helped me get through the more difficult part of the trip, and because I was committed, it helped me get through the trip better than if I wasn't committed. Now, here's another picture. Before I entered the Montgomery, I was at my old school. Here's the picture of the school. Now, as you can tell, it's very different from the schools that you will see. Because number one, everyone's wearing a uniform. And number two, I appear to be the tallest and the oldest person there besides the teacher. Now, of course, the school required us to have uniforms. I want you to take a look at everyone else. Notice how they all seem either younger or older than each other. And they seem very varied. This was because of the fact that this isn't just one grade. This is from 1st grade to 6th grade. These are all the grades, besides the kindergartners. There were no kindergartners in this picture. But that's pretty much from 1st grade to 6th grade. That was one of the major differences at the school. But there was more. You see, the school had a different academic approach than Montgomery did. A very different one, which was you could go at whatever pace you wanted, but you could also be floundering behind. Let me put it this way. If you're a hard achiever student who wants to shove on and get good grades and all that jazz, you will probably go very far ahead and might even go past what the school offers. If you are not that, and in fact, you are not the most high-achieving person, and you are not the person who really wants to strive forward, and you weren't extremely committed, you had the chance to fall behind quite badly, and I was one of those people. Now, I will give you an explanation of how badly I fell behind. Now, my parents were a little bit concerned because I didn't seem to be doing very well, especially in the math department. I was not very good at math. But they wanted to see how bad I actually was at math. And they knew I was heading off to a new school. This was becoming to the end of 5th grade, and they knew that I would have to get ready for a new school, and it might be something completely different. So they gave me a standardized test to see how well I would do. And it wasn't very good at all. The results came back, and I placed in the beginning of 2nd grade math, when I was supposed to be starting 6th grade math. That's a very big difference, if you aren't aware. And if you are aware, then yes, it was a massive, colossal difference, and it was extremely bad news for both my parents and myself. So, my parents came up with a radical, but probably one of the best choices that they could have made. They decided that they would go through 5 years of math, crumple it up into a ball, and shove it at the 1 year that I had remaining at this one school to try to see if I could catch up and hopefully come into 7th grade knowing the math. And so that happened, and I admit, I did not go into it with a happy smile saying I'm ready to do this. I came in there with a huge frown on my face saying, I do not want to do this at all. I want to go. I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to. But my parents were committed to making sure that I could go forward in life. And so they pushed me. And I admit that I got a little more committed because of this. So eventually, I finally come to Montgomery, and I'm in 7th grade. But Montgomery was like landing on an alien planet. On science, I had no clue what a lab report was. In social studies, and in other classes too, I had no clue. I'd never gotten a test or quiz. I had never gotten grades before. I had never gotten homework before. I want to remind you that I've been at that school since 2nd grade to 6th grade, and I was in 7th grade. So that was a pretty big portion of my life that I didn't have anything, no homework, no tests, no quiz, not even grades. I had none of that. And to top it all off, that 5 years of math crammed into 1 year, of course it wasn't going to be perfect. We knew that. But I still fell behind pretty badly. My grades were definitely at most 100% in the pits, literally. And so finally the year wrapped up, and it was very bad, and I wasn't doing too good, and then I had to adjust to all this, and it was very new, and I was feeling a little bit crushed. And so my parents were there, and they were talking to me one day, and they suggested that maybe I should go switch to a different school or something. But I said no. I wanted to repeat the grade. I chose the option of repeating the grade again because I didn't really know it at the time. But repeating a grade again would help because now that I've gotten the lay of the land, I can focus more on not just arriving into stuff, coming in and doing the stuff, if you get my drift. That second year really bought me time to really get into the school and really try a mountain of stuff and become a whole lot better than I originally was. I was mountains better. I did so much better than I originally did. I made massive, massive strides. Like ridiculously massive strides. And I finally came out of that 7th grade looking so much better. So I am now going to leave you with how you, yes, you, can use commitment in your life, because I haven't talked about this yet. Now, commitment. Here are the 3 rules to getting commitment right. Firstly, you must say your commitment out loud. You must have a commitment, and you must say it out loud. This will, A, help you remember, and B, it's a fun thing to say it out loud. And so, you must say your commitment and think of it out loud. Great, you've now got it into your brain. Next, you must write it down. Oh boy, this has happened so many times to me where I said, I'm going to do this thing, I never wrote it down, and 3 weeks later, if you asked me what that thing was, I'd be saying, you what? So, you must write it down. You must. And now the third thing. You must put it, this is the most crucial. If you miss this, the other 2 will mostly be useless. You must put it into some place that you can remember, so that way if you ever forget it, you can glance back there, it will be there, and you can have it. You must basically find a safe place where you can put it, and it will be safe. And this is important to me because at my home I have a corkboard, and on that corkboard we list important things. And you see, if I left it, I could have left it on the kitchen table at my house, which I sometimes do. But if I did that, my mom would come over and say, oh, recycling, take it and dump it into the recycling immediately because she would think it's recycling. And that would be no-no. That would be no good. So, you should put this paper, which has your commitment on it, in some place where you can remember that it will stay safe. If you follow those 3 rules, you, my friend, will have finally gotten commitment. And you are now ready to begin your commitment and do it and get it done. Thank you so much to Mr. Hutchison and Mr. Hamilton and Mr. Rodriguez for helping me with my chapel. And I hope you all have a fantastically wonderful day.